Howdy y'all, this is Texas Gaming Industries here, and welcome back to another episode of my Let's Play of Transport Fever 2. In the previous episode, we headed up to Switzerland to help it get out of its financial crisis of the 1930s and survive World War II. And in this episode, we are heading to our next location in the campaign. As you may notice, the Continue section has this campaign right here, Inventors and Adventures. They recently released a new game map, the Great Air Race, which is currently in its beta format. But we'll get to that eventually, but for now, let's head to the campaign and see what needs to be done.
Mankind is constantly creating amazing new inventions. Get involved.
Mallorca, a peaceful life. The second third of the 20th century is just dawning in sunny California. The friendly weather is as advantageous to the aviation industry as it is to the Hollywood dream factory. And right between them, Howard Hughes. The enterprising heir to millions has lofty ambitions. He wants to be the best pilot on Earth, and the best golfer, and the best film producer.
So, our next task is heading down to California between 1934 and 54 to help out with billionaire Howard Hughes. He wants to be the best pilot, and the best golfer, and the best film producer. As you can see, all three of these are locked. So let's head down to California and see what Mr. Hughes wants us to do to make those dreams come true.
You know a few things about bookkeeping. Well enough that a young heir to millions has contracted you to run his businesses for him. You have a general power of attorney. To fulfill any and all of his wishes. Do whatever you can to help expand his empire. Make Mr. Howard Hughes the richest man in the world. Your client wants nothing less than to produce the most phenomenal film in the history of Hollywood. It's supposed to revolve around an epic dogfight during the First World War. Mr. Hughes needs loads of authentic aircraft to accomplish this, and you're supposed to dig them up. But there are hardly any planes left of the ones called for. Contact everyone who still owns suitable examples. Acquire all of the old airplane models that are still available for Mr. Hughes, if only so that any competitors won't be able to use the planes for their own film project.
But before we do that, welcome to California. As you can see, we have a huge amount of industries here, along with 4 towns, including San Francisco, Santa Barbara, Bakersfield, and Los Angeles. And you might notice there's a couple of unique industries here, such as the sand quarry, this food processing plant producing ice cream, and as well as this distillery, which we haven't seen since the 3rd campaign mission in Era 1. Now, our task right now is to basically find several Junkers F-13 airplanes for Mr. Hughes' film. So, let's click on the exclamation mark in Los Angeles and see if we can get one here.
Mr. Filippo, a star on the local music scene, would hand over an airplane if you shoot your film with sound instead of as a silent film. That requires precise calibration of the microphones.
So we need to make sure that the noise level in Los Angeles exceeds the value of 64. Which, right now, I believe it's emissions, I guess? I'm not so sure. Now let's take a look at Bakersfield.
The group of owners would sell their airplanes, but they're concerned about how the planes will be treated. Guarantee that the planes remain intact by training skilled stunt pilots.
To get these planes, we need to complete 5 takeoffs and landings at the airfield in Bakersfield. And this one, way out in the middle of nowhere.
A famous actress owns 3 of the right models and would entrust them to you, if you take care of having the road to her mansion asphalted.
And we need to basically build a road to her villa, which would be perfect. We'll lay out a simple road. We'll make it a loop to make it a lot easier for people to drive into the manor. now got our first 3 blades. We need to get all 10 of them in order for us to continue. But, however, I want to basically get some transportation working so we can basically earn up some money and start running out. Because out of all the money that we have, Mr. Hughes has given us a gracious loan of 500 million credits. That's the most money I have ever seen in this game so far. So, let's see. There's 4 towns, and I want to operate a couple of local trains between them all. So, let's place down a 4-track, 240-meter terminal station without catenary. Because this is California, and realistically, there's no electric trains in California in the 1930s and 40s, and the 50s as well. So we'll place the station right next to this. This station right here will be very important for later, as well as the one up here in San Francisco. But first, gotta get rid of these tracks, and then basically add them, which, after carefully turning it around and putting it into place like so. As you can see, there are a couple of other industries on the map, such as this tool factory, this lumber mill, and this steel factory. And all 3 of these are required here at this factory of Mr. Hughes. But for now, let's basically add, I have a feeling that steel, alcohol, food, and other products will be needed in this city a little bit. So let's just basically add a 4-track cargo station just in case. Now we could get started on laying down the track. We'll build the platforms a little bit long enough for those long trains to easily enter and exit the station. Because if the track leading to the switches is too short, then the trains are going to have a hard time getting in and out of their destinations, leading to a bit of a bottleneck. We'll place a crossover here, 35 on the curves, 70 in the middle. Ugh. I hate it when my switches do that. And then we'll start the extensions. We'll basically build an extension around this section, around here. We'll build a tunnel there to save down on construction costs. And pass near the factory. We'll build siding to serve the industries there. Now, the question remains of Santa Barbara. There's a beach, and the station that we want to have is blocked by this industrial. So that needs to go. We'll place down a 1-track station with 240-meter length right here, then start extending it. We'll place down a couple of these platforms. Add these, and these. This is basically how I do my station platforms in my free games of Transport Fever 2. I have these 2 platforms out here for basically local passenger trains, with the interior platforms 1 and 2 being taken care of on my express trains, with the 2 tracks between them primarily assigned to freight trains. So that way, if a passenger train is at the station, like my express, it won't basically block the way for my freight trains. Get rid of that little walkway, and then add these underground walkways there. Alright, Santa Barbara is finished. Now I just need to build a track. And then extend the track up here. With that done, we can now start operations to Santa Barbara on an express service. There'll basically be two express trains, both starting and ending in Los Angeles and San Francisco. But those express trains will go to, well, one will go to Santa Barbara and the other to Bakersfield. Why did I say Barstow? It's Bakersfield, Michael. Come on. Then we'll make a curved track in, and then just basically build a switch here. It's only 42, but it's the only curve I can able to build in such a short area. Straight track, curve, and then place down that switch. We'll extend the platform out. Same here. Place this here and here. Then build the tracks along this roadway. Curve past the tool factory. Curve, and then just go straight past on the roadway nearby. Do a little bit of a cutting, and pass by this lumber mill. You'll also curve the track down a bit to build over this road to connect into Santa Barbara. Let's see, too much slope. There we go. Sometimes the double track doesn't basically work very well at a super long length. Unless you're basically doing it in short sections, it will basically think you're laying down a new section. Alright, the track between Los Angeles and San Francisco via Santa Barbara is done. Now I just need to work on the track here in Barstow. Bakersfield. It's Bakersfield. Come on. I heard of this town and I know the name of it. $465,000. But that's fine because Mr. Hughes' loan is really gonna help me out. It will allow me to buy all the vehicles and keep my business in operation for as long as I need until we can get this mission done. Okay, place down some more of these tracks. I didn't want that there. Then place down more passenger underpasses and more platform roofs. Keep the track level and let the tracks into place. 40 miles onto those tracks. That is totally fine. Miles into the station, then build a track that connects to the station onto the main line here, and then do the same on this side. But this will require extreme excavation just to make this cut. But this is going to cost me a hefty bundle, but yet again, Mr. Hughes' fortune is going to make everything so awesome. Increase the brush size and strength to basically make the ground around it a little prettier. Same here. Let's build a bit of a tunnel. Straight track. And then this. And then reconnect the station, the local train station track onto the main line. We'll lower the track here and allow the trains to pass by this ice cream factory. Though we have a lot of tunnels, we also have a new bridge. This is the steel bridge. Now, as you can see, the speed on the bridge is 56, but the steel one will allow trains to go over it at 75, the same speed as the track we're laying. Let's see. It's going to be a very odd and very tight squeeze. But it will be perfect, though. Speaking of which, I also got to get those tracks right here connected. And also, that crossing right there was so darn unprofessional. Lower it down, and then connected via this road to allow people to drive to and from Los Angeles to Bakersfield. Let's see. Now, the only trains that are ever going to go this way are the ones carrying steel. So, the tracks going there will basically be as they are. However, I still need to get the rest of this track constructed. We'll put a 40 mile on switches with 75 in the center. Same on this side. And connected there. And while I'm at it, the tracks leading to the freight yard will only be on this track. Oh wait, I have a feeling lumber will come in, so yeah, this is going to be a bit of a bottleneck. I didn't want to do it, but there's no other way. Now then, let's put down some signals so all of our trains know what direction to go in. Let's see. A signal to let them know if it's safe to enter the station or not. Same here. Same here. So until we start transporting freight, those stations that we connected with are not, well, we don't have any freight stations connected to our network just yet. And we still need to finish the connection between Los Angeles via Bakersfield to San Francisco. We'll dig through this cutting right here and just land ourselves back down on the flat grade. Hold on. I think it's best if I just turn cutting track. Cut down a little bit of money, I think. I'm not so sure. Construction not possible. Gosh. Okay, 285k versus 451. I don't get it. Why would a cutting be more expensive to use than a tunnel? I played Transport Fever 1, and that was basically the opposite. Cutting was cheaper, and a tunnel was more expensive. I guess they must have switched it or something. Oh well. And then basically extend down and connect here, and that should basically do it for the passenger tracks. I also gotta get these signals here added. Let's see. We'll add some signals here. Signals here. And basically, we'll continue our operation tomorrow in the next episode. So, if you do like this episode of my Let's Play of Transport Fever 2, please be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to Texas Gaming Industries for new videos uploaded every Friday or Saturday, depending on my outside schedule. And I want to say thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Bye!